What's up, boys? This is going to be a trade recap of the trade I took yesterday, but ended up closing at break even though my TP was hit. So let's get into it. It was a pretty, not gonna lie, it was the perfect setup, but I was just too emotional and ended up closing my trade after I saw something happening against my bias. I ended up closing my trade close to break even. So let's go to the charts and see what happened. So as you can see right here, we have a range forming, right? A range high and a range low. Maybe on the 30-minute it's much more clear. Yep, on the 30-minute you can see it's much more clear. We have a range high and a range low. So uh, as you can see, we have a perfect AMD setup forming, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. In the accumulation, as you can see, this is the weekend gap, right? Weekend gap is acting as perfect support level, and the 1 hour CB right here is acting as perfect resistance level. So this is a time dilation sort of, or accumulation range. After that, this manipulation leg down tapped into the 4 hour BC and took out the range low. So this is the perfect manipulation leg down, as it took out the sell side level, tapped into a BC, and then we reacted off of it and had a strong bullish price action. So if we place a fib right here, as you can see, the standard deviation level from the manipulation leg down to the accumulation lows is sort of close to this bisect level or this bisect level. So I considered this because this was the range high and the probability of this getting swept was more than this. So yeah, after that we had a strong and valid chain state of delivery, as you can see, closed above these series of down closed candles with displacement, right? So it's very important to note that with displacement we closed above it, did not retrace back into it, but this did play out, but this 1 hour chain state of delivery or this 4 hour BC did ended up impacting my decision a lot yesterday. So we'll get into that later. So on the 15-minute, as you can see on the higher time frame, perfect AMD setup forming, right? So on the 15-minute we have Asian high and wait a minute, yep, we have Asian high. Asian session ended up being very bullish, right? So during the London kill zone we had a retrace back into the Asian sessions equilibrium. After that we had internal internal AMD setup forming as well. As you can see, accumulation, right? We have this wait a second, I know the chart's pretty cluttered up, but we have this 1 hour BC, right? It's getting respected perfectly. The wicks are going out of this BC, but the wicks don't count. The bodies are still in the BC, so it's getting respected, right? So the BC is getting respected, right? And we have accumulation. Then we had a manipulation leg down. I wanted this manipulation leg down to sweep this sell side level, then have bullish price action towards Asian high and possibly the range high, but we did not sweep the sell side level. We did sweep it today, but we did not sweep it yesterday, and that's something I wanted to see happen. I wanted to see the manipulation leg down sweep this sell side level, but that did not happen, right? So AMD setup forming, accumulation, manipulation, 1 hour BC is getting respected. We something I forgot to mention was we have 1 hour SEBI resting right here, right? I did mention that we had a 1 hour SEBI which was acting as resistance earlier. We broke above it, had a retrace back down into it, accumulated, and formed the AMD setup. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. On the 5-minute, we had a valid chain state of delivery. Listen to my words, a valid chain state of delivery with displacement. If this candle closed right here and if this candle closed right here, I would have not considered that this a valid chain state of delivery. Why? Because that leg up was not with displacement. Even though it closed above this, it's still a liquidity sweep, as it did not close with displacement. So this though can be considered a valid change of delivery. As you can see, we closed above it. We took out the accumulation highs resting right here. Then after that, we had a 5 minute we had a retrace back into the 5 minute change of delivery where my limit order was set up. I got my order got triggered. I got into the trade. It was going perfectly well, right? We had a leg up, but what really threw me off, and I was sort of impatient. And even though I do preach being patient and being disciplined and all that, but yesterday I became a victim of the things I preach, right? So what happened was we had uptrend forming, right? Higher highs and higher lows, sort of higher lows. I don't know. This was like looking like accumulation to me, but got entered right here, had bullish price action, right? Bullish price action. What really threw me off was that we closed up below the CB, then had a retrace back into it right here, like sort of right here, like respecting the CBs and sort of respecting this inverse BC as well. Then had a leg down, then had this down close candle. This is what really threw me off, and I closed my trade right here because we already took accumulation highs. We had a 1 hour changes to delivery and 4 hour BC resting right here, which had not been tapped into before. So I was expecting that we might after this I was expecting us to go down and maybe sweep this level and tap into the 1 hour change to delivery, and then have a bullish price action again. Should have hopped off, should have been off the charts and not too worried about the small little things happening. But as you can see, the TP price target got hit, TP got hit perfectly, but I was already out of the trade. And basically being impatient costed me a perfect setup. Everything was perfectly aligned: the higher time frame bias, the lower time frame bias, higher time frame liquidity, drawn liquidity, lower time frame drawn liquidity. Everything was perfectly aligned, but this little thing threw me off. Should have been off the charts and probably would have won this trade, but shit happens. So right, so hope you learned something out of this trade. I know my commentary is a bit sluggish and here and there, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, this was how I lost this trade. Not really lost, but this is how being impatient costed me a perfect setup. Thank you for watching.